What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let me know if I'm live because again, issues with YouTube. So I have no idea if I'm live and if you can hear me. So let me know if you can hear me and if I'm live. That would be great. That would be a big help. But if I'm live, welcome back to the channel for another transfer life or whatever you want to call it. Therapy session. I'll call it therapy session. With the news that's coming out. Not gonna be a very long one. Just gonna be live for a bit because I know it's Friday evening for everybody or for most people. So just a quick live going over what what happened today, what came out today. But I will go over that. Maybe look forward to what I believe, or look ahead. Excuse me, not forward. Look ahead to what I believe is going to happen next week or starting from next week. And then just as usual, the comments and unless something um, else breaks in the coming minutes, hours, whatever you want to call it. Also, let me know if you hear some a fan or whatever you want to call it because it's hot and I have it very close to me. But yeah, the biggest news of the day, or like as your title can see, is total confusion. Because the news that's coming out is very worrying. It's a bit predictable. Because I think we all agreed on that fact that Chiesa's last interview post Udinese sounded a bit. It sounded a bit off. You know, I wasn't expecting that type of interview. He never, he was kind of dancing around the question. Basically, he was asked, "What do you think about next season?" Or how do you are gonna view how are you gonna view next season with Juve, basically? And he said, I'm just going to the national team. Apparently, they're playing. No idea which games they're playing. Couldn't care less. But apparently, there's a national team game soon, or 2 games, whatever, which is crazy because the season is over and here they are again. But he said, I'm going there. I will see. And then he said, the weird part is, let's see which competition we will play. Very strange because you qualified, quote unquote, for the Conference League. So it's going to be Conference League or nothing. Are you basing your decision to stay if we're gonna play Conference League or not? So I didn't believe that. That quote made absolutely no sense. He could have easily said, "Yeah, I'm just ready to go again next season for Juve. Time to redeem myself." But I think we all knew something was a little bit behind that. That doesn't mean the news that came out today is 100% correct. You know, spot on. He wants to leave. I saw a lot of news today being reported, and it was wrongly reported because Corriere dello Sport did not say Chiesa wants to leave. Corriere dello Sport basically said he's keeping up the options or the offers he had last season or still has, rather than just saying no like he did in the past. Like completely, I don't want to hear it. He's open to listen to offers now because the feeling with Allegri is not good. He didn't like the way he was used. Shocker, you know, being benched all the time, getting minutes here and there, being played off position, and you have your coach coming out with the crap of, oh, he's not fit. He cannot play more than 50 minutes, or like that was ridiculous at the time. But the news wasn't, oh, he wants to leave 100% sure. It's just he's keeping options open, which he didn't do in the past. Basically, that's the news. So I saw a lot of reports that were kind of, I don't even say translated wrong, just clickbait. But he's keeping options open now. I don't know which teams, Liverpool, Newcastle, Man U, name it. But the biggest point of the day or the story is that the club can come out and say they were not happy with Di Maria and that's why they're not giving him a new deal, and they can come out and say it's based on they made that decision after the Sevilla game, but up to the Sevilla game they were in very good and positive negotiation. You do not make a decision based on a game. And if you do, and if the club did, then we are in even bigger problems than we could imagine. We really are. I'm not. That doesn't mean that I'm saying you needed to keep Di Maria, but you don't make your decision based on one game. Like, you don't do that. That's not what you do. What I believe happened with the Di Maria thing is that Di Maria said, "I'm not doing this," and that also has been reported by good journalists. I think are better than the ones that has been reported. The club, wasn't happy with the last game against Sevilla, and that's why they said, "No, thanks. Forget about what we talked about a week ago when we almost agreed a new deal. You weren't good against Sevilla, so goodbye." I will not buy that for a minute. I think he doesn't want to play for Allegri. Like, he looked annoyed on the pitch. He didn't look happy. Same goes for Vlahovic. Same goes for Chiesa. We need to ask the question: is the club actually making the decision to say, we're gonna stick with Allegri here, and we're gonna ship out your quote unquote better players, which is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's madness, but that's the vibes you're getting from it. You're getting, like, yes, you need money, but if you sell Vlahovic, you probably got big portion of the money, and you can still move on McKennie and Zakaria. Like, you can get money in here and there. You don't need to sell all of them. Like, that's just crazy. That's just absolutely crazy. It's been reported by good sources that Chiesa does not happen. And actually, do you need a report to say Chiesa is not happy? I think we all have eyes. Like, on the pitch, how many times does a camera pan into him, or when he gets up as well, and he's pissed. He's not happy. Same for Vlahovic. Like, I said it on a podcast with Julian. They move like a lot of people go to work. You might love your job, but you wake up and you're like, man, this again, 8 hours, 9 to 5 or whatever. They do not go on the pitch or wake up as like with the feeling as, damn, man, I'm a football player. This is amazing. Great life. Going to training, go and play a game on Sunday. Amazing. There's no better feeling. They go out there and it feels like, or it looks like, they have a 9 to 5 job and they are playing on a minimum wage and they don't even like what they're doing, which is insane, because the best job in the world, probably, again, you might love your job and you say no, but they're living their dream, and some of those players are actually living a nightmare, it seems. And to wrap it up, that point basically is we, like, Vlahovic is on the move. I think he's the guy that the club wants to sell because they need money. Chiesa could be on the move. It could be. I'm not saying it's happening, but I think nobody will be shocked. Di Maria is gone. Nico Shira saying Sule will be gone. And today they said Milik, that's not happening. I know there are reports saying they are negotiating. They want to have a lower fee. Marseille are not going to go lower than 7 mil. Like, they're not going to do that. Somebody is going to pay 7 mil for a striker because it's kind of a steal. They're going to do that. That's happening. So, let's say Chiesa says, you have Chiesa and Keane. Like, what is the plan? And again, I asked the question. I'm missing something. I'm absolutely missing something here. Also, Ealing is apparently on the market. Cuadrado can stay for it. Like, what is the plan? Like, is it really? It's gonna be Allegri. It's gonna be the most boring 3-5-2 we will ever see. Is it gonna be that? Because if it's gonna be that, then he's gonna get sacked even before Christmas. Not because the club will admit their mistake, because they will be in big trouble. Because you're selling everybody with even a little bit, if you don't rate certain players, with a little bit of just natural flair, talent. Maybe not Milik, but you know what I mean. It's crazy. Like, I have no idea where this is going, and then you get linked to. And again, I will do a daily extra that will drop tomorrow, so I don't want to go into details too much. Otherwise, I'm gonna repeat myself. But you're losing Di Maria, Vlahovic, and maybe Chiesa, and we get linked to Zaniolo and Nonto. Like, how sad. And again, rumors, whatever, even being linked with these players, it's not hyped. If you are losing those type of players. Now, if you were keeping Vlahovic and Chiesa and whatever, and you get linked to and Nonto, I'm like, okay, that's good, good addition. Like I can live with that. But if I need to go into next season and I need to watch Zaniolo, who I don't know how to say it without being disrespectful. Um, no, because I will be like if I need to see Zaniolo, who has one of the worst mentality I've seen ever. Like I did, Chiesa scored against Freiburg, and he went to the fans to apologize for being not 100% fit and couldn't help the team. Zaniolo is the complete opposite. His mentality stinks. Like he stinks. His mentality absolutely stinks. I don't want to see him at the club. I don't think he's good enough. His output is dreadful. You know, it's absolutely painful to watch. His last season with Roma, even at Galatasaray, he goes there, he picks up red card for stupid things. I don't want to see that at the club. And Nonto is good, but that's not a player you're gonna build your team around. He's not. I don't believe he's that type of player. I don't think he has that type of potential. He's good, good addition, but to actually lead your attack back to competing in the long run, I don't see it with these type of players. I don't. So as of now, again, rumors can be completely fake. Everything. It's looking very bad. It's looking actually worse than I could have imagined, which is unbelievable. Because I was expecting things, but I wasn't expecting to getting linked to Mazzocchi and Home, like Home. And again, rumors might be fake, but even being linked to with a player like Home is just like it won't get sadder than that. It's impossible to get like it's that bad, getting linked to Home, that getting linked to Vasquez looks amazing. But yeah, let me get into the comments a little bit for our Ray John. Oops, wrong. That's not good as well. That's better. Do you think they replace him with a cheap loan from someone like Ziyech? My God, Jesus Christ, it wouldn't shock me, but Ziyech, like that's just the Moroccan Zaniolo. Like the output is it's just not there. Like it's terrible to watch. Where's Chiesa being linked to? The Premier League. The Premier League seems like all our attackers are unhappy. I wonder why. Yeah, I've said that during the season. Like everybody's bitching about Vlahovic. Oh, play Milik. Milik was terrible the second part of the season, and even Allegri is now like, nah, I'm good. So weird. All the attackers stink. I can already see the club moving on from Chiesa, replacing him with Ferran Torres. Jesus. Yeah. No. Please, no. Nonto's not a bad option. I said he's a good option, but not to lead your attack to go and compete for the long run. Back being dominant. He's not that level of player. And I don't want to pay 30 mil for Nonto. Like I just don't want to do it. Sky Germany has declined all the rumors about Vlahovic and Chiesa to Bayern right today. Yeah, I don't think Chiesa will go to Bayern unless they sell everybody. Mane, Gnabry, Sane. Them, you never know. It could easily happen that he come back. And with Vlahovic, they're weighing up all options. I still believe they will make an offer for Vlahovic. And if it's not going to be them, it's going to be another team. It will be a Man U. It will be a Chelsea. Like somebody will make an offer for Vlahovic. I do believe that. I do believe that. And I'd rather have it to be a Premier League club. If we're going to sell, it better be a Premier League club and not Bayern Munich, if I'm being honest. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to the channel because, again, 70% of the people who watch our videos are not even subscribed and 60% don't like the video. It's very easy and it helps us out. It will help us out. But yeah, that's basically the biggest. Is it story of the day? Let's call it a story. It's the biggest story of the talking point of the day. There was a report yesterday about Fabiano Della Valle that Allegri told his friends that blah blah blah. That turned out to be the biggest clickbait ever. That's why I didn't tweet it because I couldn't find it until I saw the video where Fabiano Della Valle spoke and it got taken completely out of context. It's clickbait. you need to kind of look out on Twitter, not which accounts, but like which type of news you get, because a lot of news comes from a Telegram group, and everybody or one account tweets it in Italian, and then it spreads like wildfire, but it's never verified. So you need to watch out for that. It was taken completely out of context. He said Allegri's going to stay. Now, my theory, and I said it in my podcast with Julian. If you didn't watch that, go rewatch it after this. I still believe, and call me delusional. You can call me delusional. I still believe that he's not going to be the coach next season, because it makes absolutely no sense if you look at the timeline. What happened the last couple of weeks? It makes absolutely no sense. It feels like it's a forced marriage, or they're staying together for the kids. That's how it's feeling. And in front of the media, they're like, okay, but behind the scenes, it's a mess. It's a complete mess. They don't get along. Calvo doesn't like him. I saw today a report from Giovanni. Was it Giovanni Albanese? And yes, I mentioned Giovanni. Is inside news is terrible. It is what it is. It was from the Gazzetta dello Sport. I'm not sure he said it, but the report was that Scanavino is pro Allegri. He's buddy with Allegri, and I'm like, who are you? Like, who even are you? Like, Scanavino could be you or me, but without a fancy degree, basically. That's the difference. That's the absolute difference. Football knowledge on the floor, and he's saying, "Oh, Allegri, buddy, that's a good option." You don't know anything. You know as much as we, maybe less. Like it's ridiculous that these things are happening. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I still have a little bit of hope. Next season we got Coppa Italia Conference and top four, the real triplete. Jesus. Oh my. I cannot believe he will be in the conference. I'm so hoping we get banned. Will Keane stay? I think he will stay. Paying for Bayern to buy Kolo Muan. Yeah, they're in for him, but isn't he priced at 100 million, which is also insane? Like, that's why I still believe they will come in for Vlahovic, because they will get a very good price from us. Because why wouldn't they? The club needs to part ways with Allegri in order to keep stars at the club. The management needs to take the best decision for the best interest of the club than keeping a friend. But they're not doing that. That makes a lot of sense, and that's what we have all been saying. The club is not thinking like that. If they were thinking like this, and like a lot of fans think, he would have been sacked mid-season. Like, let's be completely honest. And people throw the example of, oh, look at Bayern. They changed mid-season and they bottled almost everything. Almost is the word. But they made a decision, and sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't work out. We kept Allegri, and it didn't work out. Yes, if you get without the points deduction, you will be in the Champions League. It's not his fault, but the football is dire. There's no improvement. Your best players want to leave because they are, I'm not doing this. Where is the win? Like, I don't see the win. Somebody needs to explain. Same for the Cancelo news that came out today. Bayern doesn't want to pay the 70 mil for him, and people are like, oh, looks like we won the deal, blah blah blah. Nobody's gonna pay 70 mil for a 30-year-old player. That's one. And two, how did we win that? I'll keep saying it. Danilo, good job and all, but like, he's playing a position because he's not good in his own position, and he's taking up a spot from a player who should be younger and we should have a future with. And it took him a year or two to actually be decent, in my opinion. So I don't get these wins, those mini wins. Any more news on Pulisic? I'll take him. Milan are interested in him, and I hope Milan take him. Like, I hope he needs to stay away from us. I don't want Pulisic. Again, no end product at all. High wage, hype, but when I watch him play, I'm like, I have no idea what you add to the squad. I have no idea what you add, and I will never understand. But what would be your suggestion? Because we are moaning without offering solutions. To what, Mark? Is it to Allegri you're asking, or let me know. Is it about Allegri? Is that the question? I hope Juve just forfeits the Conference League and focus on top four. Milan did a couple of years ago. Years back, they forfeit the Europa League because of financial fair play. Or what was it? It was financial fair play or something, and they told UEFA we will not participate into playing the Europa League. But I don't think the club is going to do that. If they're allowed in, they're going to play the Conference League. Like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah. I cannot get the comments up anymore. Oh, here they are. Solution. Allegri is their friend. That's find a solution to terminate the contract. That's it. It's Allegri's fault that Juve did not finish the top four Serie A. I don't think so. I just said it's not. Mark, I just said it's not his fault that we didn't finish in top four, but that's not a goal we should be celebrating. Like, getting into top four is the bare minimum. It's not his fault, but that doesn't mean you need to keep your job. We're terrible. We're not even close to winning anything, and you have players coming out saying we're good enough to win, and then you have your coach the next day saying, but they should be quiet after a game, and they probably don't speak a good Italian, so they got misunderstood. That's that's actually happening at the club. That's actually happening, and that's my point. Next season, or July 11, apparently, he needs to go in front of that group, and he needs to tell them, we go again. We're gonna compete, or we're gonna do better. When you told them, the media, the world, that you believe that team is not good enough to win, that if you wanted to win, you would have taken on another job. It's absolutely madness. Like, imagine being a player. Like, you cannot take him serious anymore in training. Like, you just cannot be entering the Continassa in July and be like, I'm ready. We're behind the coach. No, like, I wouldn't. I know in training when he speaks, I'm like, hey, you called us kind of crap. You called us out. You told us to be quiet after a game because we have no real clue what we're talking about or whatever. It's madness. So no, it's not his fault that we did not get into top four. But I'm not gonna celebrate top four. You do not get job security because we make top four. The teams around us, were trash. Milan, horrible. Inter, they lost like 11 games as well, or 10 games in the league. Same for Lazio, same for Roma, same for Atalanta. They were all bad. It's not an achievement. We lost 10 or 11 games in Serie A. It's not a big achievement. It was terrible. And everybody around us was terrible. You need to look at the big picture. I'm not going to celebrate top four, because if I'm going to do that, you might as well put on an Arsenal jersey and do that. Pulisic is more injury prone than Dybala and even less production. Yeah, that's my biggest issue. I wasn't even thinking about injuries, but his production is like Zaniolo level. Like, I just don't want to see it. What about Weah? Any news? I will talk about that in the I will talk about that in my daily video that will drop tomorrow, but I don't believe that the way our links. Again, same player. It's just some good highlight reels, but like consistency, it's just not there. So no, same. That's my biggest issue. I think we need consistency. I still believe we need a new coach, but certain players we get linked with, the output they produce or the things they produce are not worthy to spend money on that. Like, I'd rather pay a bit more for a player that has more upside to him, than paying money for a way out. Because I've seen way out, and he's been in and around the big boys for a while, and I don't know. I think it's not fully there, so I'm not sure. Would Mason Greenwood be an option? No. Keep that guy away from the club. We are criticizing all the players that Juventus might be interested in when we know the money is problem. So which player should we go for? I said it. You don't waste money. I'm okay with Fratesi. I'm okay with those type of signings. I'm okay with Nonto, but you cannot sell the entire front three. That cannot happen because that's not good enough. You need to keep something to add these type of players. You need to find a way to do that. That's my that's all I'm saying, you know. But again, my money is tight, but that doesn't mean you need to go and look at Lucas Vasquez or Home from Spezia, who doesn't even get into the Spezia team. He's terrible. Like he's absolutely terrible. It's as simple as that. It doesn't mean that money is tight that you need to go waste the little money you have. That's not the same. I hope Sule leaving is just a loan. I think he can be a very good winger or a number 8 apparently, according to Romeo Gresti. Uh, that's maybe why he's leaving. Uh, yeah, I mean Sule. Are we shocked? I'm shocked because of the players that are leaving and the options we have. But I'm not shocked in terms of he didn't play much this season, even when Cuadrado was stinking it out and Di Maria was not fit most of the time. And he still didn't play. And when he played him to Mark Zielinski or Brozovic or whatever it was back then. Was it Brozovic or was it Barella? No, or Çalhanoğlu. Well, I completely forget. But he did what Kulusevski did against Brozovic. And against Napoli with Zielinski, he did a good job. But like, he's a winger. So are we surprised that he's gonna leave? I'm not. I'm not. I prefer way out than Home and Cuadrado. Maybe. That's fair, but completely agree with what you just mentioned. The team surrounding us apart from Napoli were all bad. Us apart from Napoli, excuse me. Due to that, it somehow made Juve look good when it's definitely not the case. Yeah, that's it. That's a good question, and I'm gonna prep a video on that with Julian or on myself. So I'm gonna keep the mystery, and I will do that in that video. Why isn't Thuram an option? Isn't he free? I thought he signed an extension for 1 year. I could be completely mistaken. But if he's free, you might say that should be a good option. Personally, not a big fan, but again, money tight, free, it could be an option, or you should maybe be a player we should be looking at. Yeah, but we're not at this moment in time. Like we can easily be linked with him tomorrow morning because you know how that goes. So yeah. Matt is saying last year we lost. Oop. Instead of spending 20 to 25 mil on Zaniolo or Orsolini, I'd rather start Junior, Vlahovic, Chiesa and the front three than bring Fratesi, Savic and Arriva. Not sure if Ealing is going to work there completely, but I agree. Like, you cannot... Like, don't spend 20 to 25 mil on Zaniolo or Orsolini. Like, that I'm sorry. Like, that cannot happen. And then sell Junior for 20 mil. Keep him. He is your player. The fee you pay for him is very low. He's on very little money. Keep him and try to keep him for a couple of years. And maybe he wants to go back to England. But I don't believe he wants to go back now. He just wants to play. And he should be playing. Because every time he plays, it's excited. You need to see how much potential we have there. You know? How much untapped potential there is. There's no need. You know what you're going to get with Zaniolo. No output and a shitty mentality. Because that's what he has been the last couple of years. We don't know what we're going to get with Junior, and that's excited. And if it doesn't work out, good. He didn't cost you much money. The risk is very low. The reward can be very high, rather than paying that for Zaniolo. I know what the reward will be, and it's not going to be amazing. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm pretty confident of that. Because he needs a miracle to have a very amazing season. Like an actually miracle. But I agree with that point, to be honest. I would prefer Sule and Junior than wasting money. That's what we discussed. Oh no. What are the chances of convincing Rabiot? Well, according to the latest reports, there are chances, but I don't see him signing a 1 year deal when he has like good money offers for long-term deals. So I'm not sure. And also being linked with Fratesi, that heavily kind of suggests that it's probably not going to happen, if you're being completely honest. But again, I can be completely wrong on that as well. What are the chances of convincing Rabiot and Vlahovic to remain. Please do not tell me Allegri. We need to stop this obsession with Allegri. Um, I don't think Rabiot will, like, if you give him a deal, he will stay even if Allegri's not there. That's one. Vlahovic, I believe he wants to stay. I believe we need the money, so he will be the first the club will quote unquote push. But I don't believe he wants to play for Allegri. I don't believe that. I think he actually will ask for a transfer mid-season if he needs to do this again. Same goes for others. You can say stop with this obsession with Allegri. Why? Why should we stop with the biggest problem at this moment in time? And it doesn't mean you sell. You move on Allegri. The next one comes in and he hits the ground running immediately. No, but Allegri's been here 2 years and we got worse. The squad will get worse, but he got worse as well. Like, there's nothing to be positive about or to build on. So it's not an obsession, it's reality. You can call it obsession. That's good if you want to give it another spin, but it's reality at this moment in time. How many signings am I expecting? I'm not sure. I have actually no idea. That's actually a good question. Well, if you're gonna sell everyone, so does Rovella? I will count. Excuse me, Rovella and Cambiaso as signings because they're new players. So 1, 2, 3. I will say 5, but it could be loan deals. And again, 2 you already own. So I'll go 5, just purely based on you're gonna need to replace 5 players almost. And this might sound wild, but it's Cambiaso, it's Rovella. You already own those players. That's 2. You need to bring in a striker because you're selling all your strikers. You need to replace Di Maria, and I still believe something will happen in midfield. So Fratesi maybe. So yeah, that's that. Actually, even this season, a decent 4-3-3 would have been possible. Allegri tried it once or twice. He tried it, yeah. I think more. I think 3-4 times, and then he switched it up to 4-3-1. Like he did for whatever he wanted to do. But the biggest issue wasn't the formation. The biggest issue was the players he put in certain types of formation. It just didn't work. You know, Miretti, second striker in one game, or false nine, whatever you want to call it. Same for Chiesa, same for Di Maria. Sule 8, Sule whatever, you know, behind the strikers, but actually not behind the strikers. It was a complete mess. Like, it wasn't even about lineups anymore at that point. You know, it was just we're on the pitch, complete disconnect. Like I've said many times, or you guys, at times I felt like they only met for the first time. It's unbelievable. How likely are we to lose both Chiesa and Vlahovic? Then we will have no forwards. I'm still gonna say Chiesa's gonna stay, but if he leaves and Vlahovic leaves, I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked at all. Sorry, I missed a quote. Could Keane play as a starter? I'm gonna say not for an entire season because I don't think he's that type of player. And actually did well the last part of the season. He did, you know, he I want to say he convinced me or he proved me wrong because he was not good before that, but he did better. Allegri is the exact reason as to why world-class attackers have no production. They used to in the past, but now it's not looking good. 50 people watching, only 17 likes. Yeah, that's actually embarrassing. So please like the video, people. Do that because that helps. Thanks for becoming a member. Thanks for that. If you want to join the Discord member group, DM me on Twitter or Instagram, whatever, and I will add you into the Discord group, the private group for members. But thanks for the support. For this 3-5-2, you need a classic 10 and 2 strikers. We didn't have that, so Di Maria played it most of the time because he was technically the best, but after all, he's a winger. Yeah. That's why with the news now, or like the players we've been linked with and the players that have been linked out as of now, it feels like it's going to be one of the worst 3-5-2s you will ever see. I think Kostic, like, very crafty, like, hardworking players in there, but like the quality will be like basically on the floor, like purely like individual quality will not be there. Like the way things are shaping up based on rumors now. Of course, there's only rumors. Uh, if you change coach, do you think Vlahovic will stay? I think he would be willing to stay, but I think we need the money. So I'm gonna say no. I'm still gonna. I think he's gone. I think we will sell at least one player for big money, and I do believe it's gonna be Vlahovic. So who's actually leaving? I keep seeing reports contradicting each other. It's early. It's very early, but obviously we're in a stage where everybody will get linked with a move now. You know, it is what it is. Um, but it's still very early. It's just I think it needs a week or two more before it will actually quote unquote explode. Um, Now it's just as always, like as every transfer season, just warming up a little bit and then it will kind of explode. What's your opinion on Højlund of Atalanta? Absolutely no. I think they won 45 million. He played 2-3 good months. Everybody's going crazy. Everybody called Vlahovic crap. He scored less than Vlahovic. He had 2 to 3 good months and 45 mil. Like no. Also, he's very, like Julian said, like woody. If that's an actual word. Like I'm not a fan of him. I'm absolutely not a fan of him. I can't watch Juve next season with Allegri as a coach. That's equivalent to doing the same thing and expecting different results. I think fans need to send a message and don't go to games. I think the stadium will be more empty. I do believe that. And I'm still going to watch it. Like I've said, because I'm pissed, I'm not going to watch a game. I was on vacation or on holiday in Lisbon. And we were playing Milan in the most meaningless game. And I said, I'm not going to watch it. Ended up staying in the hotel to watch the game. And then afterwards I went out. And it was a meaningless game. I watched the Udinese game, yeah, like whatever. I'm pissed, but I'm still gonna watch it. Why you don't put pressure on him? Me? On who? We have no power with this channel, so I think McKennie and Zakaria can stay under a different manager. They can, but I hope they don't, and especially McKennie because he's just not my cup of tea. Like, it's painful at times. It's a struggle to see him play because at times it's just like it makes me sit back and be like, you shouldn't be on that pitch. Like technically, you're absolutely terrible. Like absolutely, like the easy things, you're not good at it. So, not my cup of tea. So it's a no for me. But you could be easily be correct. But which manager will keep? The managers we're linked with, I don't think they're jumping to keep McKennie, to be honest. So, but you can be right. But for me, it's a no. What about Savic? The links are weak. Unless you are a big fan of Pedula and Sport Italia, then the links are decent. I still cannot believe the price is 35 million. 1 year left on his deal or not. I don't think Lotito is going to be like, oh, you want Savic for 35? Take Savic for 35. I don't think that's going to happen. Would I take him for 35? Yes. I would absolutely do that. And again, you can call me a hypocrite about the money thing. But if the money is there, and it's hard to say no, because the quality injection in that midfield is going to be massive. Because Pogba's not always fit. He comes in, he's your best player in midfield. And he's quote-unquote kind of an Iron Man like Rabiot, fitness-wise. Knock on wood if he joins. But yeah, the quality injection, like he's your best midfielder from the get-go. So, yes. Would it make sense financially? Probably not, but that wasn't the question. So, I'm going to do that. If we sell every one, we're going to play the stadium DJ. Yeah. If you ever go to the stadium, that pre-game DJ set is too loud. Like it's not fun. Actually, in every stadium, it's just too much, But I do believe the stadium will be even more empty. It will, because I saw an article. I think it was on Calcia Finanza. I'm actually pretty sure it was on there. I need to check that at this stage, compared to last season, there have been sold 20% less season tickets, because the prices are still high, um, too high for what's out there as a product. But already 20%, excuse me, that's not a good sign. That's actually a very worrying sign. So I do believe the stadium will be even more empty. Um, I agree with the America tour. I'm not a big fan of it. I agree that Allegri's game plan is nauseating, but I think that the players at disposal did not help. I think that squad was good enough to do better. Clubs has the nerve to charge sky high prices. Yeah, again. Do you see selling Bremer and then getting Scalvini? No, I don't see that happening. I don't think the club should be doing that, because that's kind of wasting your time in the transfer market, in my opinion. Like, purely time wasting. Like, that's something we shouldn't be doing, or like that shouldn't be on the agenda. Just keep Bremer. I think he's good enough. When you're a true fan, you continue to support the club no matter what. Yeah, I'm still gonna watch games. I'm still gonna cheer if we win. I'm still gonna be depressed if we don't win, or depressed even if we win, because I just want to. I want the best for the club. I think everybody wants that. At the end of the day, it's just everybody has a different way to express that. If Zuzan leaves, who do you think our striker will be? Well, I have absolutely no idea. I'm not gonna lie. If we lose, and the answer cannot be Keane. It will probably be Keane. The way things are shaping up, because we're not being linked with any strikers, like, really. It probably will be Keane, and the backup, who knows? But maybe Scamacca on loan, but it won't be that high-profile player. That's for sure. And I don't know, man. Like, that's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. I hope that we will make a move for Koulibaly and Savic. Savic, yes. Koulibaly, no. Like, age, wage. Like, it's a 1-year stopgap. You're probably gonna loan him from Chelsea. And I don't want Gatti to stop developing. I think we should be giving, like, next season is a season for Gatti where I'm like, or the club probably will be like, yeah, man, you're that guy. You can play alongside Bremer for the coming years, and we'll kind of build in and around that, bring in another young player, maybe promote Huijsen in the future, and we're gonna do that. That's for Gatti, because his last part was unbelievable. Like, the level he was playing at the last part of the season, or the last stretch, last 3 months, was unbelievable. If he can keep up with that, he needs to play next. Like, he needs to be the starter with Bremer. If we play back four, if you play back three, you slip in Danilo in there. But if it's a back four, you need to build a partnership with those two guys moving forward into the future. So, and I don't think they're gonna loan Koulibaly to bench him. So he's gonna play if you bring him in, and I'd rather see Gatti develop at this point. I do. He needs to build on that second part of the season. He does. Will you go again for Morata? Absolutely no. Absolutely no. Absolutely no chance that I want Morata back at the club. Absolutely no chance whatsoever. He's actually gonna extend this deal with Atletico, according to Romano. But no, you don't want Zakaria. I think he's a good ball. No, I do like Zakaria, but I like other players who already have on our squad or we're being linked with. So I think you can bring in some money with Zakaria also, because he was kind of free. So I don't think he's I don't think he's one of those players who I'm like, oh my god, if he stays, I'm not gonna come on and be like, how is Zakaria in this squad? I'm not gonna do that. But if you can move on and get money for him, I'm okay with it. If you bring in Rovella, like all these guys, I'm fine with that. I am. But I have nothing against Zakaria. If he stays, I think it will be kind of helpful. Like, I'm perfectly fine with that. But if Allegri stays, there's absolutely no chance. Like, there's no chance, because, well, he made that very obvious in his first interview at Chelsea. Same about Pogba. Kochko to Benfica for 30 mil, while Juve is going to waste 30 on Fratesi. Yeah, but it's 30 mil plus 20% if they sell him on. So you need to be... you need to keep an eye on that as well. But Kochko, like I said on the podcast, like, his development has been absolutely amazing this season. He was very well. Should we invest on Karnisecki? Chesney has 1 year left, and Perin is also nearing the 30s. invest in for the future, yes, you can do that. But bring him in now and try to move on. Perin or Chesney, don't waste time on that. If you can get Karinseki and let him play still, I'm perfectly fine with that. But don't waste money this mercato to resolve the goalkeeping quote unquote issue, which is not a real issue quality wise, but it could be an issue like you say wage wise and contract wise. I get that, but I don't think we should be wasting money now. On ship him out, get him in. Excuse me. Um, I don't think we should be doing that. Excuse me. Yeah. Let me see the rest. I thought about getting a Juve membership to attend games next season, but the way things are going, I don't think I will. Ticket prices are very expensive already. They are. I'm probably gonna end up going to the stadium again, 1 or 2 times. Wow, I will moan about the ticket prices. I will. You know what the difference is? If I would live in Torino and those are the prices they are charging, and I need to go week in week out, that's very tough. Also because of the wages that are in Italy. But for me, if I go to a game, it's not just a game. I go for a couple of days, so it's like a holiday away from work. So it's different. So even though the football is dire, I will do it because I have 2 days before that and 1 day after, or like whatever. It's a trip. It's a holiday, so it's a bit different. But I do understand if you live there, you're not gonna spend that much money week in week out. I totally get that. Next season, Benfica will sell Kochko for 100 plus. Well, he has a 120 release clause in his contract, so you could be right. You could be right. I'm not a fan of Allegri and want him sacked, but I think players are being a little soft when they are struggling. Could be, and I kind of agree with that because I said the coaching is bad, but like certain things need to be better from Di Maria, from Vlahovic, from Locatelli, from Chiesa. Like I've said it every time in every video where I criticized Allegri, or almost every video. But that mentality, that idea of man, I don't want to do this, I don't want to be here, like, and all those things comes from coaching, comes from something behind the scenes, or even not behind the scenes, just what we see in the media already. So yes, they should be taking blame, and I've said it many times. They're not all blameless. Nobody is, and nobody will be ever be. But if players are regressing, and it's not one, it's multiple players, then surely there is an issue. That's what I believe. Like surely there is an issue. I'm gonna read out a couple of more, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. There's still a lot of people watching. Thanks, because I was planning to do 20 minutes, and it's already double more. So please like the video, subscribe. Gonna read out the last, and then I need to record a video for tomorrow because I'm out tomorrow. If you haven't, after this, go watch the podcast or the transfer list me and Julian did. Last season, we got Di Maria right, so who knows? Maybe Julian gets Verratti right, and we sign Verratti. Let me see. Do you think Gatti could play the Kunde and Aroja role where they play right back? Early signs, yes, like good passer, can bring up the ball, but I need to see it next season. Was this purely based on adrenaline and a hot streak? That's why I'm like, don't bring in Koulibaly, because he's probably gonna push Gatti minutes way down. I need to see Gatti improve, but I agree, like his ball handling and stepping up on the pitch with possession was impressive. But I don't know if he's ready for right back now. I just play him as a center back. Will Pogba play as a starter next season? If he's fit, yeah, you play him. But yeah, if who will be the backup striker? No idea. Absolutely no idea. I thought it was gonna be Milik, but apparently not. I don't understand why we need to sell Dusan. With all our loan selling, we gain a lot of money. Kulusevski's not been sold. According to Nico Schira, they want a discount and the club is open to it. Again, ridiculous. Nobody gives us a discount. We are doing it. Zakaria has not been sold, and Weston also not. So that's at least 50 or 60 mil, you can say. But the teams these type of players are being linked with, that they're not going to pay, like Galatasaray are not going to pay 25 mil for McKennie. They're not going to do that. So, yes, contracts are gone, but you still need to lower the wage bill. You're missing, like, if you get Champions League money, we use that to cover wages most of the time, and all the rest goes for transfer and all those things. Now you need to cover wages and transfers with that money, with only that money, without sales. So it's not going to be easy. It's a flight, hotels, and tickets. What did I miss? Let me know. I missed something. What you need to do to participate in the jersey giveaway? Like the tweet, retweet the tweet, and tag a friend in the tweet. I will just pick up one subscriber randomly out of YouTube. So that's what you need to do. It's a pin tweet on the main account on Twitter. Very easy. You can look it up. I've been watching Ramos of Benfica and seems to be a great striker. What do you think? Was it last season that he was linked for big time money again to Man U? Was it? Or he had a breakout season, or he scored like 3 goals for Portugal, right? So that was that season. So last season it was. Interesting, but if you hear the price Benfica are quoting him at, then you're going to keep Vlahovic because you're going to sell Vlahovic and you need to spend that money on Ramos almost. So good option, but then you need to, like, it's a like for like in terms of almost fees. It's Benfica. So probably very unrealistic. Management football is dire. I agree. I think I went through all quotes. Who's your preferred coach if Allegri leaves? Will you take Conte back if it means Allegri out? No, I don't want Conte back. I want something completely new. Am I okay with Tudor? Maybe, but if it's a rebuild, I'd rather have something new, young, fresh, and if possible, no ties to the club in the past. But like a De Zerbi, I'll take a Palladino. And people might laugh. I think even Thiago Motta is a good option, for the situation we're in now. Like Zidane, that's not realistic. Conte, he will leave after one season when he knows what players he can sign, So that's just a bad marriage. But one of those guys, don't say Zidane, like that's not Luis Enrique, like they can get better jobs with better perspective. So they're not going to do that. We need to be realistic as well. I just want to see improvement, something new, fresh, players going out there and enjoying themselves, and rather than going out there and it seems like they're in therapy session at times. But yeah, that's it. Again, still 60 people watching. Thanks. Really appreciate that on a Friday evening. Again, we skipped a lot of lives during the season because of Justin and Julian were very busy in their personal lives. I'm going to pick up the lives. I'm going to do at least, or try to do at least 4 each week during the transfer season, and then the usual stuff, the usual videos, podcasts, previews, player scouting reports from Julian, all those things as always. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit that bell notification because who knows, maybe somewhere next week you will have a different type of news on Allegri. You might say that's wishful thinking. It is. Like, it's wishful thinking. It's being very diluted, but it is what it is. You never know. Or maybe next week you have more news on Vlahovic actually leaving, or Chiesa potentially leaving, or Fratesi being closed, because a couple of hours ago Tuttosport reported that we agreed terms with Fratesi, which is, it's not really big news because I think that's kind of easy to do, considering he's on very low wages at Sassuolo. I think it's very difficult. The difficult part is agreeing terms with Sassuolo, basically. But again, all these things can develop very soon, maybe even tomorrow, but I'm expecting next week something real we can talk about, in, out, whatever. But again, thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, go watch me and Julian's podcast if you haven't, and go watch tomorrow's Transfer Extra. See you guys live on